So the question you're probably wondering now is, how am I going to use a blog in my classroom? I mean, I teach K-8 ed and some of my kids are good about using computers and others are not good about using computers. Well, the truth is, there's no right or wrong way to use a blog. We've seen a number of different videos and resources talk about the fact that we can use blogs as simply ways of supplying our course information for our students to view at their leisure, if you will. We can also use blogs for a variety of other reasons, such as to have them practice their writing skills through creative writing assignments, or to practice their critical thinking skills through answering kind of complex questions and allowing them to critique other students' responses. One of the things I want you to do right now, though, is to start practicing how we can find out how to use blogs in our own curriculum area. Right here on your screen, you'll see an option, or I'm sorry, a website created by a gentleman, Kyle Smith, who teaches at Superior High School in Superior, Wisconsin, all the way to the top of the Wisconsin border. And he explains here how he uses blogs in his history classroom. And if you go through, it's actually a great resource to look at. It explains what is it, the rationale for using the resource, kind of a little description, and then actually a teacher preparation process for what he went through in which before he actually incorporated it into his classroom environment. And then he also will give a few more examples, some things you should take into consideration if you are planning to use a blog in a history classroom. He actually shows some examples of what his students use. He explains and acknowledges some of the pitfalls to using blogs in education. And then he also does the most important thing, which is acknowledge all those who helped him use the blog in his classroom. And then, of course, allows you to make a comment. What I want to point out, though, is the importance of using Google. And I'm going to zoom in here just a little bit. You'll see I'm in a standard Safari web browser, and I just typed in for a Google search using blogs in the classroom. And I'm going to go ahead and put English classroom in there. And let's take a look what shows up. Right here, you're going to see a variety of different examples, such as from the BBC, which is very popular in kind of educational technology circles for giving ideas for teaching methods. You're going to see examples of actual blogs that have been searched through the internet that you can look at for what other teachers have done. Let's take a look here at Mrs. C's Senior English Blogs. Here, this is an older blog. You'll see it was last updated on November 14th, 2006. It says that she can no longer use it in her classroom. But most importantly, you can go through here and see how she used the blog, and maybe you can take some pointers from that. What I want you to do is to do exactly what I just did. Go into Google, type in using blogs in education or blogs in the classroom, put a plus sign, and then put your subject area and see what comes back. I think you'll really find it interesting to see how other teachers are using it, and you actually looking for these resources on the internet is going to be great practice for kind of expanding the use of these tools into your own class setting beyond what I'm able to share with you. My scope and area of knowledge is fairly vast, but it's still not specific to the content areas that you teach necessarily. So take this advice, go ahead and do a Google. Make sure you add the plus sign and then your subject content area and see what comes up. And make sure to reference that in your reflection when you talk about how you think you can use blogs in your classroom.